Hey friend, things have been crazy around here, which is why this episode is landing in your earpods a little bit later than normal, so please accept my apologies for that. I'm going to fill you in on what's been going on. I have to say perimenopause has certainly been kicking my butt, and I'm going to be sharing with you 4 essential oils that I have been using that have really helped to naturally support my symptoms. I'm going to tell you all about them and how you can use them. Grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's have a bit of a catch up. Hey friend, welcome to Rest, Fuel, Move. I'm your host SJ. I'm an outspoken Christian women's health advocate, productivity guru, daughter of the king, and a 40-something mum to a sassy, independent daughter. I'm here to arm you with the knowledge you need to better understand your body and mind so that you can live a life free of diets, fitness fads, and comparison. If you are ready to finally lose weight sustainably, to learn how to consistently make the best choices for your health, follow a simple eating plan, and finally enjoy your exercise routine, all while keeping God at the centre of it all, then this is the podcast for you. Friend, grab your Bible, fill up your water bottle, and lace up those shoes. It's time to get fit. Hey friend. So many people say to me, SJ, how do you do it all? You look like you're so organised and you always know what's going on and you get so much done. But the reality is, I don't, and stuff doesn't happen. And I can honestly say things have really, really gone off the rails in the past few weeks in this house. Now, for us as a farming family, my other half, Tim, he is a farmer. And right now we are into the first few weeks of harvest, which means that life goes absolutely crazy. And this is the first time since I have had Chloe that we have done a harvest where I have a pretty full-on part-time job. So I work 3 days a week for a charity that supports teachers, and I love what I do with that work. I work with their podcast. I do a lot of work with schools and supporting teachers, but oh my goodness, it is full-on. It's tiring, it's mentally exhausting. And up until recently, that's been fine. But during harvest, when harvest kicks in, everything changes in this house. So I have been juggling, Tim not being here, Chloe still going to school, still doing my job, my work, which is pretty full on and intense because we've been coming up to the end of the school term here in the UK, and trying to keep in touch with you guys. And that is why this podcast is landing a little bit later than normal. And I just want you to know that although sometimes I might look like I have my stuff together, I really don't. And because of the extra stress and the extra pressure and all of the things going on, and I also forgot to mention that it is my daughter's birthday in the middle of July as well. So I have been planning birthday parties and doing all of those things, as well as all the end of term stuff that comes with, having a 5, now 6-year-old. It's just been really, really full on. And I can honestly say the wheels have fallen off. I've fallen off the rails. My perimenopause symptoms have really kicked my butt because I've been stressed, because I've been tired, because I haven't really been prepared for harvest to kick in the way that it has. And yeah, the wheels just fell off the wagon over the past couple of weeks. And I can honestly say it's been really hard. And I've managed to pick myself up and dust myself off. But there's been a lot of ugly crying. There's been a lot of nights with very little sleep. And trying to make sure that we eat healthy meals hasn't always happened. And that then, of course, has a knock-on impact on the way that you feel, the way that I feel in myself. And I've really, really felt that in the way that my perimenopause symptoms have totally kicked my butt. I have been emotionally up and down. I felt quite depressed at some points. I felt really lonely and isolated. I felt anxious. I've been really snappy. My body's been bloated and uncomfortable, and I've just not been the best version of me. And it just has been because the past few weeks have been hard and have been stressful. And that's why we're here. Like, this is the stuff, like these basic things that I talk about with you regularly, about making sure we have enough rest, making sure that we fuel our bodies with good food, making sure that we move our bodies on a regular basis. Well, I can say to you, 2 of those 3 things really have not happened over the past 2 weeks. And that has just left me feeling really, really rubbish. I managed to keep moving, exercising, walking my dogs just because I've just needed it for sanity. And we've not long had a new puppy called Sky, who is absolutely wonderful. But obviously she needs a lot of extra time and extra attention as well. But she has been my saving grace. She really has. She's just been an absolute delight. And having her has really given me a reason just to get out of the house, just to have 10 minutes, 20 minutes to myself, because she's still young. We can't walk her too far, but just giving me space to breathe and to focus on other things, because my head has just literally felt like it has going to explode. And as I've previously mentioned, because I haven't been resting, because I haven't been fueling my body very well, my perimenopause symptoms have literally kicked my butt. And as I'm recording this with you right now, I'm sat in my kitchen and I have got the worst period cramps. I'm tired, I'm fatigued. I have struggled a bit with depression and anxiety over the past couple of weeks, and that has just been down to the fact that I have not been looking after myself in the way that I know that I should. And I was gonna talk to you over the weekend, but I thought I really can't. I did not feel in the right place to be able to jump on a podcast and be like, hey, look, I've got it all together, because I didn't. There was just a whole load of ugly crying and just an absolute mess. So here I am, a couple of days later. I've dusted myself down, picked myself back up again, and I'm just going to share a few things with you that have helped me through this process, some natural essential oils that have just helped me just to breathe in those really, really stressful moments when I just have felt like the wheels have completely fallen off. They've just been just something that has grounded me and just helped me to pull back to who I am. And it's helped me to come back to making sure that I'm spending time with God and making sure that I am giving myself the space and the breathing space that I need. And I thought I'd share with you, of course, those things, because I know some of you are in the US and you are absolutely in the thick of it right now with the school holidays. But for us guys here in the UK, we are just about to go into 6 weeks of school holidays. And I know that this can be a point where the wheels really, really do fall off. And regardless of what is going on during the day, I think it's so important that you look after yourself, you give yourself some form of self-care, and you just take some moments to just let yourself breathe and ground yourself so that you don't end up having big ugly cries like I have had recently, and that you are just looking after yourself. So let's get started. I'm going to share 4 essential oils that ultimately have just helped me to remain sane during this hectic, crazy period, and how they work and how I use them. Okay, so let's start off with one of my favorites, which is an essential oil called geranium. It comes from a plant, and I have to excuse my pronunciation here. It is called Pelargonium graveolens, but geranium. I just can't say the Latin version of plants' names at all. So geranium is an amazing essential oil. It's so, so good for women. And honestly, I think if you are considering investing in essential oils, this is definitely one that you should invest in, because it does really help to balance your hormones. If you look at any products on the market that are natural, that are high quality, organic, designed for women, designed to support your hormones, they will have geranium in there. And the reason geranium is so important is because there are studies out there, scientific research, that is suggesting and proves that geranium can help balance estrogen and progesterone, especially when there is a deficiency in them. And it helps to regulate and restore your adrenals and your cortisol function. So we know perimenopause, menopause, estrogen and progesterone are dropping. We need things to, whether you are using HRT or whether you're not, or whether you are listening to this and perhaps you're not perimenopausal, but perhaps you struggle with PMT and PMS and get some really, really bad periods. Geranium is such a great oil to support your estrogen and your progesterone. It is proven as well to help manage stress, to reduce fatigue. And honestly, like, I have been stressed, I have been tired, and this oil just has really helped me to feel grounded and just, I keep saying this word breathe, but literally just like to feel my feet on the ground and to breathe the air and just to take a moment. It's also been proven, so there are sort of scientific studies that have shown that it stimulates the estrogen in your saliva. So the study that was conducted, they found that women that were making use of geranium essential oil, it increased the estrogen in their saliva. So that would ultimately, I guess, indicate that it stimulates estrogen elsewhere in your body. So that's geranium. Number 2 is rose. Now, rose is on the expensive side when it comes to essential oils. So geranium is definitely more affordable. Rose is an amazing essential oil, but it is definitely more expensive. Rose is just like, it's so beautiful. It smells amazing. If you have checked out my rest box, so I have a couple of wellness boxes that you can check out on my website, And one of my boxes is titled Rest. And in that box are some products which are designed to help you calm down, de-stress, and just take a bit of time for yourself. And within that box, there are a couple of products that are rose scented using the rose essential oil. And all of the products in the box are natural, they're organic, they're made in the UK, like 20 minutes away from my house. They smell amazing. So in the box is a rose soap and a rose cream that you can use on your hands and also elsewhere on your body. It's gorgeous. It smells amazing. It reminds me of the roses in my garden. It's just beautiful. And by the way, if you are interested in grabbing one of those boxes, I only have 2 left at the moment at the time of recording this. So make sure you jump over to my website and go and grab one of those. They will be restocking, but not for a few months now. As we go into August, I'm going to be restocking those for the beginning of September. So only 2 left. Go and grab one now. Rose is shown to help in improving serotonin and other neuropeptides in the brain. Some research have conducted studies that have concluded that they suggest, or they propose, that rose can strengthen the uterus, and that it can also help to reduce hot flushes by balancing hormones. So again, it's a great oil, and there are lots of products that my affiliate company make 20 minutes away from my house using natural, organic, essential oils. One of my favorites are products that contain geranium and rose. They smell amazing. I will link the website in the show notes, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about some of the products at the end and how to use them. And I think you're just definitely going to want to get your hands on them, because they have been my absolute lifesaver over the past few weeks. So that's rose, geranium and rose. As I mentioned earlier, rose can be on the expensive side. Geranium is far more affordable. So if you're going to grab like one essential oil, I would definitely recommend geranium for balancing your hormones, because it is a lot more affordable. Okay, number 3 is patchouli. And patchouli is proven to encourage the release of serotonin and dopamine, so similar to rose, and therefore it has like a depressant property. And there is also research out there that is suggesting that it can mimic your body's natural pheromones, and that it's also good for skin conditions such as acne. Now, if you're like me, since I've been like perimenopausal, I've certainly had a few more spots pop up on my face than I normally do. So if you're using like skin products that have patchouli in it, that can be really, really great to help reduce any skin problems like acne. And finally, number 4 on my list is frankincense. Now, being completely honest with you, like I find frankincense can be a bit of a love-hate kind of relationship. I don't like the smell of frankincense on its own. I like to use it with other oils, and I'll talk about that a bit more in a minute. Frankincense is still a fairly affordable essential oil to buy on its own. Again, as always, you want to make sure you're buying high quality, and I will link all of these oils from my affiliate company in the show notes, but they are only available to those of you that are listening in the UK. If you are outside of the UK, just be really careful where you are getting your essential oils, making sure they're natural, they're organic, they're clean. Just buy the best quality that you possibly can do. So the benefits of frankincense are that it does balance hormone levels through the regulation of estrogen production. It has anti-inflammatory effects as well, so it can be really helpful for like if you've got cramps. It's pain relieving, so again, if you've got headaches, maybe you're getting hormonal headaches, or you've got like period cramps and that sort of thing, frankincense can be really great for that. And it is also shown to reduce cortisol levels. So we know that stress, cortisol have really, really negative impacts on our body. So all of these essential oils have sort of like a calming, soothing effect on our body. It stimulates like that parasympathetic nervous system that we have, which is why when I'm saying to you that I sort of find that these oils kind of help me to just sort of feel like I can take a breath, that is literally it. Like I smell them, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about how you can use them. Like I smell them, I like inhale the scent, and it just gives me a moment to breathe. And I just feel that they really ground me, and that is my body, like the parasympathetic nervous system in my body just kicking in and just helping just to calm me down and reduce those stress, those cortisol levels, because we know that cortisol isn't great for us, and it can cause like problems in terms of like anxiety, depression, and it can make those feelings of perimenopause worse. It can make you feel like you're on some kind of crazy hormone roller coaster, bloating, all of those wonderful things. So the point is that these oils can help your body to calm down, to feel more at ease, to help that parasympathetic nervous system kick in. And if you think about it, like we know like plants and herbs and all of these things have been used for so many years, in a natural homeopathic manner, that there is, this isn't woo-woo stuff. Like God made these plants and these amazing herbs and things for a reason. And this is the reason. And obviously I'm not a medical doctor, and I'm not suggesting that you use these just to help you if you are struggling with perimenopause and menopause symptoms, but they are part of a bigger picture. They're part of this jigsaw puzzle that is about getting sleep, about eating right. It's about moving your body. It's about, using hormone replacement therapy if that is something that you want to do. It's about working with medical professionals to support your hormones. But this is something that is part of that wider jigsaw puzzle, that when we actually get all those pieces and we, slot them into place, it just makes life so much better. And these have really, really helped me just to calm down, feel more relaxed, to help that parasympathetic nervous system kick in, just to help me breathe. And as a Christian, I really strongly believe that God made these plants for a reason. And these particular 4 plants, geranium, rose, patchouli, and frankincense, they bring so many benefits to us as humans. So it isn't about sort of, like using them in sort of like a woo-woo way with some Christian crystals and, idolizing them. But it's about actually thinking, do you know what? God made these plants. Like, how can we use them to support us? And what a gift it is that these can be part of this jigsaw puzzle of getting all the pieces together to support us and to help us feel as good as we possibly can do. So let's talk about how we use them. Now, first of all, one of the ways that you can use them is just to buy them as individual essential oils. And geranium, patchouli, frankincense, geranium is probably the most affordable. The other 2 are perhaps a little bit more expensive. But rose essential oil can be quite expensive on its own. You can get them. I've linked them in the show notes. You can grab them straight from my affiliate company. They are natural, they're organic, they're really, really high quality. Now, if budget is a bit more of a concern for you, then one of the better options is to actually just buy one, which is a blend. And the company that I work with create a specific blend of these 4 oils called Women's Balance. And what they've done is they've blended these 4 oils together to make this one essential oil blend that you can use in so many different ways. Now, you could grab those 4 essential oils yourself and you could blend them yourself using some carrier oil. You could grab those oils together and you could blend them together in like slightly different sort of like consistencies, if you like. So you might have more geranium, or you might have a little bit less rose, or if you're somebody who, like me, isn't quite so keen on frankincense, you might choose not to use frankincense. So you can kind of blend it to work for you. But you need to remember that if you are blending the essential oils, you need some kind of carrier product. And most of the time that's some sort of like high quality vegetable oil that you want to be using to do that. Now, alternatively, as I said, you can grab this particular blend called Women's Balance, which is just the most amazing smelling blend. It comes in a small blue glass bottle, and you can use that blend, that oil blend, in so many different ways. And I just thought I'd share some of the ways that I have used it. So you could diffuse it. This is one of my favorite things to do. I mentioned this in my evening routine episode, where I have a diffuser in my bedroom. I sometimes put lavender in, but at times, and particularly recently where I've been struggling, I've been putting some Women's Balance into the diffuser, and it's just made the room smell amazing, and it's just really calming, really soothing, and it's a really, really nice blend. You could also put a couple of drops of the blend into like a warm, hot bath. I love using essential oils in the bath. If you're not so keen on sort of dropping an oil into your bath and you'd rather sort of use a bath product, you can get your hands on some Women's Balance bath salts, which are, obviously like bath salts. You put them in your bath, they dissolve in the warm water, and they also leave behind this gorgeous smelling scent. You can grab those through my affiliate link that is in the show notes as well. Honestly, you open that container and it is literally the most amazing smell ever. Every time I open that container, everyone's just like, oh my gosh, that smells so amazing. So absolutely, if you are like thinking about getting yourself something that is just gonna, like, maybe in the school holidays where you've put the kids to get bed and maybe you just kind of want to like have a bit of a soak in a hot bath, those are just going to work an absolute treat, and they'll make your bathroom smell amazing. Going back to the oil blend, you could put a few drops in the shower. I sort of like flick the bottle and it just flicks a few drops onto the tiles in my bathroom, and then when I'm stood in the shower, the steam sort of evaporates the oil and makes the shower smell amazing. If you've got a shower tray, perhaps you might want to sort of like drop some in the bottom of the shower tray. That can make it smell really, really nice as well. You could grab some Women's Balance massage oil and get your husband to give you a nice like hand massage or foot massage or back massage. Like the whole process of, like having a massage is really, really good for your parasympathetic nervous system anyway. And then the smells from those essential oils are just going to help you to relax as well. Oh my gosh, just like think about that. It just sounds amazing. Or perhaps if you do go to perhaps if you or somebody you know work in the beauty industry, maybe you do massage. There's a lot of beauty therapists that I know that use this particular blend of oil for the women, for their female clients, because it really does support and help to balance their hormones as well. You could also get your hands on some of the body creams and shower oils that have the Women's Balance essential oil blend in them as well. And all of those things are linked in the show notes. One of the things I really, really enjoy and that I personally find quite helpful is actually taking some of the oil adding a few drops of a carrier oil and rubbing that on the soles of my feet and then putting on some warm socks, and that can just really, really sort of help you feel a sense of relaxation, having warm feet. But obviously depending on where you are and how hot it is, you might want to skip the socks, but also it makes your bed sheets smell amazing too. You could use the Women's Balance blend to make your own room spray. Over on Instagram, you might have seen recently that I put a reel up showing you how to make your own insect repellent. And I used like distilled water, witch hazel as a carrier, and then I just added the essential oils. So you could potentially do the same with to create a room spray, or you could just use water and add the essential oil just to spray like on your cushions or on your pillow or something like that, just to make it smell really lovely. Perhaps you might want to use the Women's Balance blend to make your own like roll on, I call them. So you can get those little containers that have a silver ball in the top, a bit like a deodorant kind of thing, but they're a lot smaller. They sort of contain about 5 mils. And you could make your own sort of roller ball. And what you would do is add some essential oils to a carrier oil again. And then you would use that just to roll onto your pulse points. So your wrists, sort of behind your ear, maybe across your chest. Or if you don't want to make your own, which can be a bit more expensive, you could grab a Remedy to Roll. There's a Women's Balance version of Remedy to Roll. It's really affordable, and it's a really, really great option just to put in your handbag, to put like in your gym bag or something, just to give you that lovely smell of the essential oils when you're actually out and about and on the go. And I always have some remedies to roll in my bag. And I know that sometimes I get some funny sort of like sideways looks when people are watching me like roll this thing on my wrists or around the backs of my ears, but it just smells so divine. And it's sort of almost like a bit like putting your own perfume on as well. So that's a really, really top tip too. Okay, so let me just give you a very quick recap. We've been talking about 4 essential oils that are designed to support women's hormones, and they are part of the bigger jigsaw puzzle of getting enough sleep, getting the right food, making sure that you move your body, working with a medical professional to support your mental health, your hormonal health, maybe getting your bloods done, all of those sorts of things. These are just another part of that big jigsaw puzzle. So we were talking about geranium, rose, patchouli, and also frankincense. Or if you don't want to use them separately, you could grab the Women's Balance blend, which I have mentioned, I've talked about a lot. And I will continue to talk about it because it is just amazing. We touched on some ways to use them, perhaps in a diffuser, making your own blends, or some of the products that you can grab using my affiliate link in my affiliate shop, which have that blend. So maybe a shower oil, maybe some bath salts to go in your bath. Just give yourself maybe a little bit of a treat. Give yourself something to look forward to at the end of the day, after a stressful day where you have been entertaining your kids all day or maybe working hard all day. A little bit of love, a little bit of self-care. Or if your husband is looking for a present to buy you, then maybe send him over in that direction. I hope you found this helpful, my friend. Huge apologies, we're a little bit late, but you know what? Sometimes the wheels fall off, and they certainly have here. But I've dusted myself off, I've picked myself up again, and I will be back in your ears over the coming weeks. Have an amazing day. As always, if you want to ask me any questions, if there is anything that I can support you with, please jump into my email inbox. I love to hear from you. Have an amazing week. I am praying for you. I am thinking of you. God bless.